Hi, this is 100 and 100, where we are reviewing 100 VR games in 100 days. Today, we are looking at virtual reality. Virtual reality is one crazy game that will have you questioning the purpose of your own existence, or at least the game will question your existence because you are playing the role of an insignificant, unvaluable, untalented, unskilled human in the futuristic robot world. We're excited to review this game with you today. Our VR Gear game reviews cover as many aspects of the game as possible so that you can make an informed decision before you try or buy one of these VR titles. Virtual reality is a really fun game. It's going to bend your mind and have you thinking about things that you might not have considered about the future of humanity. Let's jump into the review by talking first about getting up and running with virtual reality. This game can be purchased on any of the VR stores, the Steam Store, the Oculus Store, the Vive Store. It's part of the Viveport Infinity subscription, and it's on the PSVR Store. However, all stores are selling it for $14.99, and the PSVR Store is currently selling it for $19.99. So pick your VR store wisely. There is a price difference across the different stores. This game falls into a similar genre as Vacation Simulator, Job Simulator, and other simulation games that have you experience playing the role of something that you normally wouldn't play. In this game, you are a person who is placed in the future where the world is run by and controlled by robot overlords and AIs that need your unique contribution. But you'll find out very quickly that you aren't very good at all at performing the tasks that you're asked to do. The game is a lot of fun, but we don't want to spoil it for you. You learn more and more about the different layers the game has to offer as you progress through each one of the experiences. You'll play this game from the first-person perspective. You're able to reach out and interact with things that are far out in front of you, as well as things nearby, and you can move throughout the game via teleportation or rotating in place. You won't see your hands in this game, but you will see your controllers as they are used to interact with the world, including picking up items, throwing items, bringing items closer to you that are far away, and collecting things that need to be collected, based on the robotic AI overlord's instructions to you. For theme and story, we're giving this game a score of an 8 out of 10 in our game ratings. The story here is very compelling. You are placed in a futuristic world ruled by robots, and you find yourself in a job center. Your primary task is to accept one of these jobs, become good at it, and earn enough points and avoid being penalized. If you fail at any one of these jobs, you'll find yourself in a cage, being punished for not performing your job well. Do a good job so that you're not put in a cage. And so we're giving this game an 8 out of 10 for theme and story. For the controls, we're giving this game an 8 out of 10. The control situation is quite unique here, and we played this one on the Oculus Quest using the Oculus touch controllers. So we'll tell you about the mappings there. The B button allows you to teleport. You hold down the B button and you aim your controller, release to teleport to the location you've pointed to. The grip button allows you to grab objects at any distance, and using the joystick, you can bring those objects closer to you or push them further away. We found the controls to be quite unique, but very appropriate for the type of gameplay. We thought mastering the controls took a little bit of time, but after you got it down, it made gameplay very enjoyable. So an 8 out of 10 for controls in this game. For music and sound, we're giving this game a score of 6 out of 10 that's a little bit above average, and there is a sense that this game is supposed to feel more sterile and empty compared to other VR experiences. However, audio is a great way to help people feel more immersed in a virtual reality world, so we'd like to see a little bit more done here. There is a lot of silence, there is voiceovers which are fantastic, and we would give a great score to the voiceover element of the game, but the overall audio experience was lacking, and we think there's a lot of room for improvement here. So a 6 out of 10 for music and sound. For player movement, we're giving this game a 7 out of 10. To move around the levels, you're able to teleport from one place to the other, and you're able to rotate around in place. The issue with the teleportation here, and the reason we're not giving it a higher score, is that there's a zooming effect that can cause some motion sickness, and it's sort of disorienting. And so a 7 out of 10 for player movement. For motion sickness, we're giving this game an average score of 5 out of 10. There isn't a lot of action that would have you whipping around and getting disoriented very fast, but there is teleportation, and there's that zoom effect that you experience when you do teleport. And throughout the game, you find yourself being sucked into different virtual reality headsets over and over again. You go in and out, and then you go in, then in further. It's like Inception, 8 layers down, and then Inception, 8 layers back to the top, all the while seeing yourself being pulled out of a VR headset and then pushed back into a VR headset. This type of movement is what causes the motion sickness. So if you're sensitive to motion sickness, you're likely to get motion sick playing this game. If you're not, you could possibly handle this without too much negative impact, but a 5 out of 10 is a score we're giving for motion sickness. And finally, environment and immersion. We thought this game was incredibly immersive. It had us thinking, it had us questioning our personal experiences in life, our value, whether or not we have jobs that are worthwhile, and wishing that we lived in the future where robots were in charge. The environment was very convincing, and the level of immersion is something that a lot of games should aspire to. The storyline was very well done, and that added a ton to the environment and immersion here. The artwork was very good. Even though the game is a low poly type game, the use of light and darkness really made this game shine. So a 9 out of 10 for environment and immersion. And now for the overall score, we are giving virtual reality a 7.2 out of 10. That's on the higher end of our game ratings, and we think this one is definitely a game you should go try. It's a part of the Viveport Infinity subscription, so if you have that, you can just jump right in and play it. It's currently selling for $14.99 on all VR stores and $19.99 on PSVR. This has been 100 in 100, where we are reviewing 100 VR games in 100 days. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and stay tuned for another VR game review tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.